He was hilarious. He was so funny. He loved to dance. He was feisty, and he loved the ladies. There was not a lady he did not love. I just remember coming home one night. My mom and my brother weren't home. Dinner was still in the oven, and I couldn't get a hold of anybody. And that's just my memory of finding out that my brother had cancer. First time he was diagnosed, I believe, was 2003. He was about a year and a couple months younger than me, so he had to be about 16, and he was in remission for 5 years until in 2010 we found out it had come back. My brother's name was Jonathan. He was 23 when he passed. He was Down syndrome, and he had leukemia. It was definitely a surprise to us. You know, it was just any other day where I would pick my brother up and take him to lunch, and I just happened to notice that he had bruises all over his body. And at this point, he was living in a group home, so I was concerned. So I called my mom, and she immediately knew. She said, you know, he needs to go to the hospital. Originally, they said, you know, everything's okay, and then a couple hours later, we get another phone call that said he only has 2 weeks to live. And he lived for a month. That last month spent with him, I couldn't be more grateful for. You know, to see that it's hard to see someone you love sick, and knowing you only have a limited amount of time with them. So to just see him so happy in those last days, like, what more could you ask for? It's hard to say how an event like that changes you, because it does. It's hard. It's like, how do you move on with your life, right? You have no choice. But it doesn't mean you don't think about that person every day, you know, especially when the big things come up and you're like, I wish, you know, he was here, you know, at Christmas, or to meet his new nephew, or, you know, or just to have a day that we, you know, is just for me and him like we used to. Or hearing his voice, you know, it's things like that. It's like, it's just never the same without them. We did get support from the hospital. You know, they helped us with parking, which can get very expensive, and they helped us with food vouchers, which can also get very expensive. It's beyond just the help with, you know, food and gas. The nurses there, they were so great. I mean, you can't be more thankful than that, just having that support and that help and that guidance during that time. I think that's such a critical time where every bit of support you can get matters. You know, not every family has the means to afford to be at the hospital every day. You know, parents have to work. You know, they have to still pay their bills, and having cancer is expensive. And every family and every child deserves to be together as much as they possibly can during that time, because yes, a lot of kids recover, but some don't. They just deserve to be together. So if we can help in any way, why not?